What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk a little bit about emails. Let's get into it. That's right, guys. Once again, welcome back to the channel. I actually been getting a lot of views on the go high level stuff, so I was like, okay, well, what else can we talk about? Let's talk about emails for a second. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Boom. All right, looked pretty good on that one. So basically, you want to have something that looks graphically designed, and what exactly are you doing when you're sending out emails? I could go to my workflows. Another cool little trick, right? Like, since we were working in go high level, it's a cool little trick to right click on there, hit duplicate, and now you got two of the same windows. And if you had to hop back to get, to another part of what you were working on without losing, where you were in that place and having to click back to all these different things, you can just right click, duplicate. Now I got a new tab, and I'll go back into my automations real quick and show you the workflows. Basically, when you go over here, I just made a new one today. Let's go look at that one. I made one for Photo Boost, and look at that, I didn't even publish it. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going back to edit workflows. Again, I got a trigger over here. Somebody says photo booth. The trigger is they filled out the form, they went into the calendar, they said yes to the terms and conditions, and then event type was photo booth. So I'm going to go ahead and publish this right now. And then there was another tag as well that I put on this. Save trigger, boom. The trigger was if I go ahead and add somebody to my contacts, then I can, tag, add it, and then I added them as a photo booth lead. Now they're going to get all these other things. Now, since I'm talking about that real quick, just how do the emails look, right? So welcome email, and as you can see, it's kind of like graphically designed. Right? So I was like, oh, well, we spent a little bit of time going over that. So this is basically what it looks like, the emails that they're going to get, kind of thing. So with that in mind, we can go back to here. Remember the duplicate tabs. Now I'm back over here. I'm going to hit new. I'm going to hit blank. And then we're just going to go, I don't know, edit design, design editor, code edit. Now I'm not really good at code. Let's just stay away from that. But blank text editor or design. Let's do design. Select that one. And I've already got one for Photo Boost. I've already got one for corporate gigs. I guess we could do Sweet 16s, but basically if you wanted to put in an image over here, and let's say I wanted that to be my logo. Now I've already loaded things into my drive, so it's pretty easy to scroll through here and just kind of pick your logo. I think I got two over here. That one, insert. All right, so now we got a logo over here, and let's say I didn't like the color white, right? So where would I go to change that? Over here, visibility, edit. It's all about clicking around too. So you see here that it's white. So I can go over here and click this color. Now it's that. Guess we'll stick with a lighter blue, darker blue. I don't know. Not really a graphic design artist. And who knows? I could change it and then come back and play around with it some more. But we got all these different colors. So I guess we'll just stay blue for now. And then you go back to add. And then we could put in, I don't know, image, text. Text, right? I could say DJs, lights, photo booths. Nice. All right. And then, of course, don't want that. Want it to be white so that it shows up good on the background. And then, of course, over here, we want to center it. Boom. If I click the right button. And then I didn't want any subtext. And we'll get rid of that. And basically, over here is your mover arounder thingy. That's the official term. So DJ's lights, photo booths. And then over here, let's say we want a video. So if I go to videos over here, boom, sweet. And then, well, I'll show you my YouTube real quick. All right, so you just go here, click the share button. We've copied that. Go back to my design. See, that was the one that I had already showed you, but we're working on this one. So I can go over here and then click the video. Boom, now it's there. So we got DJ's Lights Photo Boost. Let's say I want to make that bigger. 26, maybe 28. Anyway, you pick it how you want. Pick it how you want. So now I got that. Now, what else do we want to do? I guess we'll put the body of the information in there, right? So text. and then we'll delete the header, and then we'll say hi. And then over here, which is kind of cool, you can go to custom values, and I want it to say their first name, so there you go. So over here they gave the command for the first name. I'll make it white so you can see it. Boom. And then little comma, hi Fred. And then we'll go over here, and then we'll do this really cool thing over here that I got. Oop, different tab. I use Project Shepherd. Project Shepherd's pretty cool. Once again, it's by Frank Kern. He spent, I don't know, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars to make whatever his AI is. I don't know about 100,000, but he's probably in over the 10,000 mark to make his AI, you know, write copy the way that he writes copy. And it's really kind of cool, really. So if you don't know who Frank Kern is, once again, he's like the godfather of internet sales. One of the first guys to put, you know, video on a funnel. If you don't know what a funnel is, we'll make another video. Basically, a funnel is a website with nowhere else to go but buy this product. So I'm just going to, I've got ones that are already pre-built because setting up an AI, you know, takes a few questions and answers. All right, so basically, you can just talk to it, tell it what you want. It's already pre-programmed. I hit the record button, and, well, I'm making an opening email for anybody that joins my mailing list, and I just want to tell them about the services that we have. Make sure to tell them about the benefits of going with our services and make it compelling. Remember, you're a hardcore copywriter for King Entertainment Events, and we want to make this compelling and make sure to highlight our benefits and, you know, of course, put the CTA as book a Zoom call or give us a call. That'll spit out pretty quick, and then we'll go over there. So one thing with the AI, it like gives you all that stupid like formatting jargon. So I don't know how to get rid of that other than create a Google Doc and copy and paste the information in there, and then, you know, get rid of all whatever text or whatever code is connected to the text once it comes out, because it'll show up black. But the information is solid, and it even gives you, like, you know, little emojis. So there we go. It's got all the numbers in there. It's got emojis. You can tell it not to put emojis. You can still talk to this thing. You just made the best decision with your celebration. King Entertainment Events, where ordinary events become legendary celebrations. All right, so I'm going to copy that. Apple A. See how I did all that black stuff over there? It's kind of crazy. So now that I got rid of all that, all I did was hit Alt / I don't know. It's the button right above Enter. All right, so Apple A, Apple C, copy all that. Go back to our email that we were creating. Boom. See, it's going to put it in there all as black. You can highlight it, make it white. Definitely want it to be 20 is what I've been using. A lot of spaces here on the bottom. Not too excited about that. But, okay, so just made the best decision. You just made the best decision for your celebration. Get rid of the hey there because we already have that. Over here, Apple B bolds it. Put some spacing in here. Doesn't take a whole lot of time. And then, of course, make it look snazzy. It already put the permalink in there, so if they click on that, it'll bring them right to the page. But if you didn't know how to do that, we could show you real quick. So basically, King Entertainment Events, and then your link button is somewhere at the top, not custom values, your link. It's already linked, so it'll go here. Boom. Sweet. And that's where I want it to go. Again, this thing's already kind of programmed. So, but let's say I wanted that to show up in a different color. Okay. Go back to our highlight right here, and boom, they know to click on that, and that'll work. So basically, we got the logo over here, we got the video over here, DJ's lights, photo boost, and then, you know, let's do this. Pipe, and drape. Boom. And then if we wanted to highlight their name, Apple B, and then there you go. There's your content. Let's say you didn't really like the blue background. All right, so we just go and change the image. Now that would be another video of showing you how to do the, like, you know, create a little image and stuff, but click on the square, boom, visibility, not visibility, scroll down a little bit. Let's say we wanted to add an image as the background. You would go over here, replace it. Let's say you wanted a gradient, right? So you can go to backgrounds. They're already kind of like preloaded, so I can put that in there so you can see what it looks like. Boom, now it's all these different colors if that's what you want it. But I want to do an image that I already made. See this wedding image? Insert. Boom. So now we have this. Look at that. But and then again, he won't be able to read it, so you just pretty quick to go to here and make it black. Boom. And then if I want it, Applebee. Applebee's. Applebee is bold. Big and bold. Boom. And then of course give us a phone call. I don't really want that extra little clip right there. Boom. Boom. There we go. And then sweet. Now we have that. Of course, we're starting from scratch over here. And then there you go. You have the logo. It's already got its own backdrop because it's pre-designed. Here's our video. Check that out. Can't read the title, so let's change that. DJ's Lights Photo Booth, and then all the information, call to action, give us a call or set up a Zoom. And let's say you wanted some stuff on the bottom. So you would just go to, let's do a little section. So you got all these pre-built sections right here. Let's do one of these. Boom. So now, drag content. We can just, let's put an image there. Let's put an image. Where are the images? Boom, boom, boom. I'll pull something that I already have up here, which is this button, I believe. Stalling for time. Find the button, find the button. That button. Boom, upload. And let's say we wanted to highlight Cloud Dance. Boom, sure. Boom, insert. Cloud Dance is right there. And then over here, let's say we wanted some text. Text. Boom. Cloud Dance. Okay, back to my little handy-dandy Project Shepherd. Can you give me a 2 or 3 sentence, really short description of a cloud dance? And then let's see how long that takes to generate. Boop. Okay, so as we're hitting that button, we'll come back to over here. Let's say I want to make this something different in the back, right? Like, it's kind of cool, but I don't know. Make it a different color so it stands out. No. Visibility. No, I keep clicking on the visibility. I think it's like a nervous twitch or something. Boom, boom. But we'll make it this. Cloud Dance. Or back to the blue. Yeah, back to the blue. There you go. We got that. And then go back to Project Shepherd, which is over here. Copy. Put it back into here. Apple A, Apple B, Apple A. Get rid of the formatting. It's a quick key. It all becomes, you know, second nature once you've done it a couple hundred times. And then go there. We'll go Apple A. Change that into white. Boom. And then if you wanted some space in between there, boom. Look at that. Sweet. Our signature cloud dance creates, and then we could put a little thing here that says learn more. And then you would just click here. Oops, this little spot right here. Let's say I wanted to go to this page. Don't have a cloud dance page actually made yet, but we'll just go to contact page just to kind of show you the exercise pop-up window. Show you that later if you want. Drop a line. And then over here, okay, so we highlighted this, right? We're going to copy that, or not copy that. Anyway, we're going to put a link there. And this is the page we want. Right? Boom. Save. And then we're going to change the color so that people know to click on it. If it's highlighted, boom. So now we have a cloud dance. I guess you can make it smaller or whatever. And if you wanted this to be bigger, right? Like you say, oh, this looks kind of lame, like that. We would just go back over here and then put a different, let's say we want the picture to be bigger. So we would take this one and put it over here. And then just drag and drop here. Grab your little grabber. Boom. So now it's a little bit bigger than where it was because the size of the box is bigger. And then you would take this and then drag it over here. And then now, there you go. Apple A. No. Over here. We're going to make that black. Make it black. Bring it back. Boom. And then we go back to the color. See, I didn't click on visibility this time. You do image if you want. Replace. We go back to that gradient. Was it backgrounds? Yeah, y'all. Insert. And then if you wanted it stretched, change around the color and stuff. And then let's say you didn't like that and you wanted it white again. As long as you're clicking around, just keep clicking. Just keep clicking. So there you go. Now you have that. Back. Bring it back. Bring it back. All right, so you can make it center, full, make it bigger, right? Boom, make it full. Now it's bigger. Now it's real bigger. Real big. House real big. And then, of course, padding. You change that if you want it. Oops. There you go. Bring that to 4. Bring that to 4. Whoosh. There you go. Now you got a bigger image. And then there you go. Sweet. And then if you want to change the height and stuff. And also, I have a tool that I use called, hold on, let me find it, Image Tool Plus. Boom. I'll bring that over here. I think I can, if I minimize this screen. There you go, Image Tool Plus. Just got it off the Apple Store, and it'll change everything to WebP, which makes things easier to load. Boom. All right, and then, of course, rinse and repeat. You'd probably want to have another one of these, so you would just go over here. You know how we picked a bigger side? We can do this and do the opposite. And just do another one real quick. Image. Here. Boom. Boom. Not background. We want the image here. So you drop your content there. Image. And then you would change that here. Upload image. Let's say we wanted to highlight photo booth. Yeah, Manny the man. Boom. And then now we go back to, see how fast this is? I want to change it back to this color. I don't know why. Help if you click the right box. Boom. There you go. So now we have this one that corresponds with this one. And then what did we have? We had some buffer. Make that 4. Make this 4. And then now we have photo booth. And I could, you know, basically duplicate this, drag that into here, and then make this, oh, we'll change the, maybe you want a different color for this one to make it stand out. Yeah, we'll do a lighter blue. Boom. So now we have that, and then, okay, so they got the email, they got the video, they got what we do. We got their name, we got the explanation, and then we have more stuff for them to click on. And again, if you wanted to make the link into something else, just, again, change the color, make that blue. Oh, not that. Boom, boom, make that blue. Sweet. And then you would just go over here and then change the link to whatever you want it to be. And your link's up here. Boom. All right, so I guess it's time for a little bit of a closer, right? Oops, cancel. We're going to do a section. And at the bottom, there is one pre-made one that tells you all your stuff. So, footer, boom. Maybe we have to add a section first. Boom. There's that. And then we'll go back to, oops, cancel. Go to here, put your footer information in, which is right here, and you probably want to align it, center it, boom. So now you have all your information, and then let's say, oops, cancel. I'm a clicker. We want your social media in there. Social, boom. And then you can change what I did with mine. All right, so we'll go back and make this block back to the other blue, so that we can see the words better. Color blue, boom. And then, can't see all that, make it white. And then we have our social media, which I like text. So it's Facebook, Instagram, and then because I did text, I don't really use the link in. I use another symbol for, I'll show you. So if I go through and change do website, right? Then we can call it, and then you would put your Mixcloud in there because they don't have one for Mixcloud, or you can just put one for link, custom. It shows up as a little link icon, and then you put your Mixcloud in there, and then you want your supporting text, and then you just put Mixcloud. Boom, and then there you go. That's how you create an email. That looks pretty snazzy. And I'll see how long it took me to make that. Stop recording. All right. Well, what's going on, guys? That's pretty much the breakdown on how to make a snazzy looking email for your email campaigns. Now, if you wanted to make the image that I made for the background, that would be pretty simple to do. You put it into Canva, and then once you put it into Canva, you just add a white on top of it, and then change the fade so that the image, is kind of there, but like in the background. But guys, thanks for following, liking, subscribing. Make sure to share, leave a comment, and I'll make some more videos. Peace.